I wanted to talk to you about your desires, the things you want, the wishes, the wants that maybe have been in your consciousness for quite some time. And I intend this video to find you when you start doubting the things that you want because you're trying to manifest them, but it doesn't seem to appear yet. And it kind of makes you feel more anxious if you don't see these things. So this video is supposed to help you to renew your enthusiasm about the things you want. And also we are going to talk about the nature of desire. Why is it here for you? Why did it appear? What is it? And so on. So firstly, I want to start with saying that desires do not appear in your consciousness as a way to torment you or test you or as a trying time to build you, build your character and so on. In a way, maybe a little bit, but not really in a sense that it's like malicious. I believe that the things that we want are for us. And whether it is for us to experience them or learn about ourselves in the process of trying to get them, I don't know. We don't know. But it's definitely something that you should be pursuing either way. So for me, the desire, the fact that I want something is already a promise. It is a promise of something that is for me. Otherwise, it wouldn't be installed in my consciousness. And mind you, that it just because you already know that you want something, how many people are there who still don't know what they want? So the miracle of you actually finding out what you want at this stage of your life, doesn't matter what stage of your life it is, if you're a teenager or a 60, 70-year-old person or even 90-year-old person, it doesn't matter because the desire to get to your consciousness has to go all those layers in the subconscious mind for you to actually know what you want. So desires are not installed in your consciousness as a way to torment you in your life, to kind of give you the idea, but then tease you and never allow you to actually experience the things that you want. Desire, the things you want, your dreams, the things that are really calling you, they may be coming from the higher version of yourself, that is, the spirit, something that was actually meant for you. It's not just some fathom of your imagination of this human that was just like, what do I want? Oh, maybe I want this, because especially if you have a calling, if you feel like you have a function in this world, something that you want to do because it feels like a passion, sometimes it comes with just so much sacrifice, and you have to work so much to get to the state to actually be able to perform that function or purpose of yours, that no one in their sanity would actually come up with something like this. Like we would, if we could come up with something we want, it would be probably something quite easy, quite like maybe low effort, something that would leave us in this peace and just contentment. But the things that come to us that we want to do, they seem like something that comes from the higher self, from the spirit, or, divine consciousness itself. Awareness is animating your experience and gives you things to do. One person will be pursuing this, the other person will be pursuing that, and in that we all collectively grow because we are all one. So the fact that you already know what you want is a promise that it is for you, and you should definitely go for it. Maybe it will not be the easiest thing you've ever done. Maybe there is so much attachment and things that you will have to work on yourself in order to get there, but it doesn't matter. It is a promise. You will build yourself up because the path is the teacher, and eventually it is for you. So if it's a promise, it is also a proof. It's a proof for you to always remember and carry this as a sort of northern star for yourself when you start to feel, low, or you start to doubt. Bring up this northern star above the horizon that will always guide you, that no matter what I see in my experience right now, whatever I'm feeling, whatever I'm thinking, whatever is my intuition kind of serving me right now, it is all for the sole reason for me to have my dream life, because this is my destination. It has been proven to me that it is for me because I want it, and it's just like my direction, and it pushes me further. So of course there will be times when you feel a lot of anxiety and lack, and it's normal, because whenever you decide that you want something, when you decide to accept the desires that you have, the wishes, the dream reality that you want to live at some point, you already in this moment, you make a shift internally. You already see the world differently. You see the world from this perspective of a person who already has it. If you stay in that state long enough, sooner or later you will see these things. But of course, what happens is that we very often slip from that state of knowing and this peacefulness and feeling complete. And we start to give in to the lack in our lives. And this will happen, and it's not a bad thing. It's because we live without certain things, especially if these are things that we consider big or defining our lives. They are kind of contrary to the conditioning that we lived with our entire life. So if suddenly you start to say that I'm a person who X, I don't know, for example, you say, I am a professor, because you decided that you want to pursue academia, that you want to teach young minds, and you want to dedicate your life in pursuit of knowledge, and your function is lifelong learning. And in this moment, you are already going to start think like that person. When you suddenly start to shift into a person who feels like like a professor, and thinks like a professor and behaves like a professor, there will be parts in you that don't really agree with it. Parts in you that never been that are scared or maybe feel stupid, not like an authority, because this is not how you lived or your life. So they are going to come up to the surface and rebel. And one thing that is very interesting about desires is that they are pushing you towards something that you've never been, or maybe you even been the opposite. Maybe you felt really stupid all your life. That's why you're going into being a professor, because you want to feel respected for your knowledge. It also happened to me because I wanted to be a software developer, because I saw software developers as these super intelligent people who can just create these programs that, perform so many tasks. I was just looking at them with such an awe, and I admired their, intelligence, and I wanted to be the same. So I did go into software development. I was a web developer for many years, and it turns out that I actually went there out of fear, but it still taught me so many things. It taught me about myself, the information about what you don't want to do, or things you learn on the way, because the path is the teacher, is also so valuable. And even the things that you think that you shouldn't have done, trust me, yes, you should have done them. They were building you, and this is the reason why you are the person you are right now. So your desires are not here to torment you, but they're more like a memory of something that you on another timeline already experienced, or the future self already experienced, however you want to interpret this, and is calling it to you. What you experience as a desire may just as well be your future self affirming that they have it. And that's why you feel the whisper of the future self. And that's why you should know that it is for you. So, do you have to try to manifest this thing in order to have it? Do you have to perform the techniques in order to have this thing? I personally think, no, you don't. I think that no matter what you do, it will happen for you. Of course, when it comes to things that require your input, your work, you building something, the desire itself of having this thing is probably there also because you like the process of doing that thing. So for you, you don't really have to work if what you do is actually something you enjoy. Maybe it's art, maybe it's cooking, maybe it's talking, maybe it's writing, whatever it may be. Some people experience this as just a drive to do things, and some just simply as a passion, and they enjoy every moment of doing that. So your desire is really a promise, a proof of this thing being already yours. And all you have to do is to accept that indeed it is for you. And when you do that, there will be emotions coming up to the surface. That's normal. And if you find these emotions overwhelming, I do coach people in this specific thing, so feel free to reach out. The acceptance of desire requires a little bit of nervous system work. You have to regulate yourself in the moments when you feel lack, doubt, when you feel like it's not going to happen. Because you cannot really get there with just your mind. Your body has to be on board as well. You have to teach your body that the thing you want is not only possible for you, it's familiar, and it's also a good thing for you. It is a little bit challenging, but it's a good thing because it helps you grow. It's exciting, not anxious. So if you have any sort of visceral reactions towards the lack of the thing that you want in your life, this is probably why you're still not manifesting this thing. And this is exactly, of course, why I talk about emotional regulation on this channel the most, because I truly believe that the things that we want are for us. They're actually unfolding for us. We don't really have to do much other than just pursuing our own enjoyment and joy and, kind of aligning. And in the moments when you don't really feel worthy or deserving, or like this is going to happen for you, this is when you just apply some of the emotional regulation methods that work for you. Again, you can work with me so that we can find what works best for you, or you meditate to kind of not ever get to that very spiky state of stress. But overall, whatever it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that your circumstances are pushing you towards, the growth in whatever direction, it is there to build you up so that you can accept the things that you want. Because the only reason why certain things feel too big is because our nervous system feels like it's too big. When you're building a business, for example, not only you will have to, be okay in your body and in your speech and your mind with making sales, and maybe your body doesn't know how to do this yet. That's why so many people who are really shy suddenly want to do public speaking or want to have a business. That's because the lessons that you will have on the way will turn you into someone that isn't shy anymore. It will reveal where you are self-inhibiting. But the expansion itself is not only, emotionally. You have to be okay with handling difficult situations, difficult conversations. You have to learn how to receive more as well, more abundance, more attention. You have to make yourself safe to be seen as well. But also, there is a part of expansion that I don't think a lot of people talk about. You have to make sure that you have the social support system, that you know how to ask for help, that you know how to deprioritize, that you know how to, put aside your perfectionism a little bit and maybe delegate your work as well. All of this is not easy if you are a type A person, for example, who just wants to do everything themselves. You will never be able to build a successful, thriving business if you don't learn these things too. If you don't learn receiving things, even small things like compliments, love, small gifts, then you will never be able to accept big things like abundance and a thriving business. And I think that this is the part when most manifestation content creators and coaches talk about the techniques so much. But I think there is the underlying kind of misunderstanding of how our nervous system works, because they will tell you to just use this technique, that technique, affirm so much, and so on. And if there are things that work for you, then fantastic, The problem is that if we use a technique when we are already in this anxious state, and after I started to work with my emotions, my nervous system, I understood why this is actually not a good idea, is because your nervous system wants a little bit of reassurance. It doesn't need you to ignore it and suppress what you're feeling. It wants you to be steady in what you're feeling and not getting swayed by the emotions. So, for example, you experience anxiety about not having the things that you want yet. And people will tell you to just affirm, flip your thoughts into positivity and so on. But what happens if you just allow yourself to feel and say to yourself that even when I feel this, not only I expand my nervous system by sitting in disturbing moments with confidence and being there for myself and accepting that there is a part of me that feels scarce right now, instead of just flipping this, because flipping means no, I don't like this part of myself. I'd rather not have it. This is too disturbing. And I don't think it inspires, acceptance and wholeness. I think this just further perpetuates this division that we have within ourselves. But you want to feel complete even before you have your manifestations. This is when you're going to manifest even faster the things you want. So if you ever have doubt about whether these things are coming or not, allow yourself to feel and just come back to your body. Feel the sensations, because the lack that you are experiencing, and there's this certain kind of story that our mind is, telling us, it's very highly interpretive. The interpretation of what you're feeling or thinking is going to depend on the state that you are in. Like, you may interpret it in different ways depending on how you're feeling. Sometimes you will feel a bit of lack, but you're feeling actually okay, and you're just going to be like, yeah, whatever, shrug it off. But sometimes when you're down, already in the state of feeling a bit more negative, you're going to feel this lack a little bit more kind of defining. Like, it's going to be a stronger kind of hit in your confidence and in how you feel. But if you approach everything as feeling this and accepting this and getting to know myself from this is exactly what will bring me closer to my desire. The feeling that I have right now, the emotion, the thoughts that I'm experiencing are exactly what needs to happen for me to get to the place that I need to be, to manifest the dream life, to manifest love, business, the house I want, the career I want, and so on. So just keep telling yourself that it is for you, and just come back to your body, because the body doesn't trust your vision yet, maybe. But also a little bit of doubt on any of your paths, no matter what you're manifesting, is a normal thing and doesn't have to mean anything about you. If you just allow yourself to interpret these moments as a way to realign to, like, I know that it is for me. It's okay if I'm feeling this, just coming back to the sensations of your body, grounding yourself also in just awareness. You're not the sensations, you're not the thoughts, you are the awareness in which all of that arises, right? You are the one that animates all this experience. And every single experience that we have could be seen as just an experience. It doesn't have to be positive or negative. So if you just develop this wholeness, and no matter what's going to happen, it is for you, always coming back to, I am this is your only constant. You're not your thoughts and emotions, you are the awareness behind them, you are the awareness in which that arises. And you can just then turn yourself into this observer consciously, because awareness is always aware, but we are not always aware of this awareness. So you can treat these moments of just, I can align in this moment. I can just remember that I am. And the things that I want are for me too. They are promise. They are a memory. They are the proof itself that they are for me. Your only job when it comes to your desire is to accept it, and then just allow yourself to feel what follows with love and acceptance, to teach your body emotionally that it's okay. So there is just so many things on the way that the desire itself that appeared in your consciousness is bringing you to, that you're learning on the way. So it doesn't mean that you will have to, learn all those skills before you even start working on a business. No, because you will learn these things as you go. The desire and the path towards there is there to build you up. It will teach you how to be the person that can appreciate it and can hold it. So don't be scared of challenges, and don't be scared of even, like, some people don't like minor inconveniences, like, oh my gosh, this again. Are you this type of person, or are you just like, yeah, okay, let's give it a go, let's see what happens. And if there's something that is, like, inconvenient, how do you react? How do you handle things that are not always good? Because we have this idea of success that you get to the successful moment and then everything is just amazing, and you have this luxurious life and all is great. But it's not really like that. There is more responsibility there. There is more work there. You are going to be forced to regulate yourself because you are partially a product as well. You are selling your energy as well, especially if you do things like, for example, coaching or any sort of like consulting. People are buying you. They are buying your energy, and you need to learn to regulate yourself so that there is enough for you, but there is also enough for your business. And I believe that this is the case for any sort of business or creative endeavor that you are pursuing. You have to learn to expand so that you can hold more abundance, creativity, love, attention, feeling safe to be seen, and so on. So if there is anything that you want that scares you because you want it, because maybe it feels risky, what is one thing that you can do today? Because the action also dissolves doubt. If you're feeling doubt about your desires, what is one small thing that you can do today towards that goal? Every single day you can do just this one tiny thing that will bring you there. And if you start doing these things, if you have something that is inspired, you will then complete the action. And from that moment, you already have a different level of consciousness from which you have a new set of inspired actions. So we don't know what's going to happen on the way, but each time you're doing something that brings you closer, you are already closer with the state of consciousness, which will include the way you feel, the way you think, how you behave, the intuitive voice that you have as well. So don't be scared of taking the next step. And I know that we procrastinate a lot when we are overwhelmed, when we are stressed, when there's just too much. So take some time as well. Make yourself feel good as well. This should always be your priority when whatever it is that you're manifesting. Remember that your desire is for you. It's meant to help you feel good, but you have to make sure that you are prioritizing how you feel every single day as well. And that includes feeling what is uncomfortable, disturbing, what feels unworkable. But it's only there for you to give it some love, because these parts of you, they cannot go with you to that dream reality. And they will have to be used also to expand yourself, because when we have all these parts of ourselves, the shadow parts of ourselves that we don't really, that are limiting us, that are inhibiting us, maintaining them and their story also takes energy. So when we learn to look at them with love and free them, we are freeing that energy too. Then this energy then builds up let's say a higher level life, because now you can accept more. Now you have bigger capacity. So you cannot accept many more things into your apartment. If you only have studio apartment, you have to expand it or remove the things that no longer serve you there in that apartment. But either way, you will have to make a little bit more space, right? That we know. And the same happens with whatever it is that you want. You need to feel that the things that you want are not too big for you, for your nervous system. And you don't have to fake that you are feeling like this person, because what will this person feel? Content, peaceful. You can create this environment for yourself right now. You don't have to fool yourself that you already have this thing. You just need to feel like you do. So listen, you've got this. The things that you want are for you because they appeared in your consciousness. They've already been installed there. So you need to give it a chance, but you also need to regulate yourself. And just knowing that it is for you and just treating this as this northern star, as this reminder, you can close your eyes for just like a few seconds and come back to that memory of how it feels to be that person, and let this vision just fuel you every day, and not let some anxiety or doubt sway you. This is just the ego, the shadow parts coming up to the surface to test you a little bit. Maybe it is a bit like a test. The universe is asking you, are you the person that you claim yourself to be? And what would the person that you want to be, that has the things that you want, what would they be doing every day? How would they react to things? Would they allow their anxiety to just let them procrastinate for the rest of the day because the vibe isn't right? Or would you make sure that you have the conditions created for yourself that allow you to do the thing that this person would do? So I hope that this little pep talk helps you to realize that the things that you want are for you, even if it's a little bit scary, but it will 100% be worth it because you will learn so much on the way. You will just expand yourself by just following the path, because the path is your teacher. And stay open, stay loving, and don't be scared of the success. Teach your body emotionally that the success you want is not only possible, it is new, but it's very, very exciting, and you're looking forward to it. And you're building yourself up every day by feeling even disturbing things, but still doing the work anyway. So I hope this helps you, and keep going, because you are meant for so, so much more. And you can watch this video next. That is my most watched video, where I talk about how your nervous system will fight you to the death before you manifest.